Good morning, everybody, wherever you are, however you may be listening. This is your Wednesday wrap-up, and, of course, we got Herb in the house. What's up, man?
Hey, I'm here to grace everybody with my presence this morning and just make this an amazing show. How are you doing?
Wen already here.
Yes.
Your brother lying to us.
No. Raj.
I like that you pointed out that he posted that on the on it last night. That is hilarious.
Yes.
I mean, it was early. He's not wrong.
Right. Well, we have, you might see him in here. Jay Bake would do that on our program a lot. He'd be like, all right, first, you're like, oh, wait. And then you go, look, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You posted that. You're like, I appreciate it.
It's funny, though, because when you post it up, it doesn't give the time. Like, you see it.
Right. Oh, yeah. I'm there.
Side, but when you post it, you don't. So,
yeah.
Okay.
So nobody else knows. You just have to trust us, people. You just have to trust us.
Unless, of course, the hosts call you out.
Yeah.
Then everybody knows.
Oh, Lord.
So what's new? What have you been up to this week?
Man, getting ready for football season, honestly. It's the South down here, so everybody's chomping at the bit. Fall camp is coming up, so there's reports every day. People want to collab. Are you going to this game, that game? And I make it sound like it's tedious. No, this is exciting. This is my exciting voice. So, we're going to Tallahassee for the first game, and I'm just like, can we just fast forward to that, please? Can we skip all the rest of this and let's just go play some football? So, what is it?
I like that you were. I like that you were like, this is my excited voice.
Just so in case anybody's like, oh, he must hate football season. No, look, it's still 8 o'clock in the morning for me. It's 4:37 in the morning for Bo. So it's still an early morning program. So
there's a reason I'm sitting here drinking coffee.
Yes. So don't mistake me. I'm very, very excited about it. But call me at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You'll get my excited voice.
Yep. That'll be the funny part for our radio guests, because they hear this later in the day, so they're probably like, why are these guys so weird in the afternoon? Do they sleep all day?
Yeah, what is wrong with them? No.
That's great. So, I mean, we do have the first week of NFL preseason in the books.
Yeah.
Obviously, there wasn't there's never a lot that you can take away from week one, right? It's usually a lot of very ugly football. You sort of expect that. You see a couple of good things, but you can only be so happy about it because a lot of these guys that are on the field aren't going to be on the field anywhere. So, a lot of teams aren't playing their ones. A couple of them had their ones out there for a series or whatever. But one that stands out, and the only reason it stands out is because he had to make this opportunity count.
Right.
And Shedeur Sanders does, right?
Yes.
He came out and maximized his opportunity, with the guys on the depth chart getting hurt. I believe he gets to start again this week. And so those are the little things that you look for in week 1, week 2 of, preseason games, because otherwise it's mostly meaningless.
Right.
When you see somebody that gets a shot and then maximizes that opportunity, it's awesome. It's also great because that just makes that whole Brown situation more convoluted.
Yes. So the most heavily scrutinized 5th round pick, maybe ever, got to start it. People are way too invested in this too, to have nothing going on with it. I know people who aren't Browns fans who are watching, oh my God, he's being set up to fail. And other people, oh, well, he better perform. He's getting a shot. And then after it's oh, well, it's only preseason. If you were criticizing him before the game, you can't use that excuse after. If you were saying, hey, this was his one shot before, you can't. And, people oh, he's being set up to fail. I mean, he got to start in a preseason game. No matter what happened leading up to it, that was a shot. He did well at it. It's the most Browns thing ever because it feels like the depth chart should now be going into the season Flacco, Shedeur, Dylan Gabriel, and that should be it, So that would be great. Of course, now there's reports Deshaun Watson, could be healthy by the end of the year. I'm not sure why you would care.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? They were even before, a couple of months ago, they're yeah, there's a chance that he could be ready for week 15.
Yeah.
right? And you're just like, okay, I mean, shut him down for the year. The last thing you want to do is run him out there for the end of the year and get him hurt again anyway.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, it's such a weird scenario that you have 6 quarterbacks on a roster.
Yes.
It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's the Browns, so whatever.
So why not? Right.
The depth chart, that'll be interesting to watch evolve because Shedeur did play well, right? But, I mean, that cuts both ways. You're like, okay, you maximize that opportunity, but it is a preseason game against, kind of a lot of nobody that's going to still be on the team. Obviously showed more than Gabriel because he's been hurt.
Right.
But Gabriel's style fits the offense better.
Right.
And so that's where it's going to be a little bit kind of interesting to see how this comes together. That's why I kept saying, it's like, man, why couldn't that have been just like quarterback room Hard Knocks?
Yes.
Right? Because I would watch that.
I would. But just because Shedeur is involved, the millions would have watched it. So you'd already had a built-in audience. Yeah. The other thing about that, though, is, this is to be believed. I was watching one of the programs the other day, and they're reading off the practice stats, which I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know. I mean, I guess I understand that somebody was charting all the stuff that happened in practice, but I didn't think they released that to anybody. But Shedor's been out playing Gabriel in practice. Now, again, that's some are running with one, some are. It's like it's not all apples to apples. I get all that, but it just feels like, hey, you're not going to waste a third rounder on a quarterback and cut him, before the season starts. So that just seems like too much sunk cost. If you cut Shedeur now, which, by the way, Browns, if neither one of you guys wanted him and you didn't want all this pub, like, nobody should have drafted Shedeur. Exactly. Because it's going to be the most talked about thing ever. If you cut Shedeur now, you're really never going to lift this down.
Especially if he falls out.
Yes. You know what I mean? So you put yourself, it's almost for the Browns, you needed Shedeur to go out there and throw like 4 interceptions and no completions, whatever.
Right.
Like they were like, Shedeur, if you could just suck this one time for us, we can cut you and everybody be happy. And then instead he balls out and they're like, oh crap, now what do we do? You can't keep Kenny Pickett in this situation, I don't think. He's not your future, and he might not even be your present. Huh?
They gave up a third to get him. So that's why this is the most ridiculous Browns thing, because Tyler Huntley is the only one you can get rid of that doesn't have any like bad cost to it. Yeah. You gave up a third and something else to get.
You gave up, I think it was actually a 5th in DTR. I think it was a third with Philly. He gave up I feel like it was a 5th, and they gave up DTR to get him.
Yeah, I remember there was another element to it, but
it was their backup quarterback. Yeah,
was the third rounder.
Yeah,
Gabriel was the third rounder, right? So, I mean, if you're cutting either one of those two,
that's too much sunk cost.
I mean, you're just throwing a third around, and if you throw a 5th or something away, who cares? Like, so many times a 5th rounder doesn't work out,
right?
But when you're talking about thirds, a lot of those end up being guys on your roster, right? More often than not. A third rounder ends up on your roster. Are they a starter? Maybe not, but they're probably on your team.
Right.
4th round and on, that's rolling the dice. You have no idea.
Right. I feel like 4th round is where you start taking some chances, but those first 3 rounds, you're like, look, we need to nail every first, second, and third that we go because of the and I think we get conditioned because we think of other sports, like in basketball. You're like, oh, he's only a 2nd rounder. No, in football, with all the positions and all the depth and all the banged up, them 3rd rounders, you're starting to get to the point where even 4th rounders are a little bit, they're creeping up the value chart just because of how much changes. So no, I'm absolutely with you. That's why I never even consider Gabriel being cut in any of these scenarios. I'm like, especially if he's banged up and you haven't gotten a fair shake at it. I don't think anything has been fair for him anyway. They're trying, I guess, behind the scenes, and they're trying, but all this talk is about Shedeur and everybody's trying to move him. Like, I don't, he's got to be sitting there going, why did you guys draft me? Like, I understand I fit your system, but
I mean, to be fair, they were giving him the better chance of those guys because from the Browns end, their depth chart was Flacco, Gabriel, right? And he was getting most of the first round reps, for most of the first team reps, right? Shador was getting like third team reps. So again, he was, in a lot of people's mind, valued as a first round pick. So I would hope that you can carve up the third team. Right. I mean, because the third team is going to be working at Target and Walmart and whatever, right? So, I mean, it's I'll be interested to see as he gets more first team reps, because I mean that's coming, right? Gabriel, I think, is shut down until the third game, right? And Pickett, I have no idea. I haven't heard anything about a projected return. Yeah. So, I mean, it seems like he's probably the logical one to lose, although you lose a lot in doing that. So
if you were going to lose pick, you might as well have just kept DTR in your pick if you weren't ever going to. Now you just basically gave that away at that point. Yeah. So,
but Browns, right?
Yeah. Why is that this explanation? That's so bad. Yeah, I heard. That'd be great, but Browns. I'm like, yeah, Browns.
And see, it's that part of it that's even worse, because you're just like, yeah, right.
Well, I didn't have a valid argument against it. That's why you hit me with the Browns. That's it. That was the finisher in the match.
Right? Yeah, that's like dropping that pocket ace. You're just like, pow, you lose. Like, I don't know. Like if there's a wrong decision, you're gonna do it.
Yes. Yeah. Even Browns fans expect. I feel so bad for them. I'm like, yeah, this is us. That's how they look at it.
I think so. The best part on the Browns end of that, right? They have that jersey with like 45 quarterback names on it. They have 6 quarterbacks on the roster for this preseason.
Yes.
If there were odds in Vegas, and there probably is, there's probably some sport book that carries this, but if there is one, I would bet that the odds for the Browns picking the right quarterback out of this group, they have 6, is probably still a plus 3,500.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, them cutting the wrong one is probably like a minus 250.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh yeah, no, they're gonna do that. Like,
yeah. Oh, they're definitely gonna mess this up. My favorite part about all this that we don't really talk that much about, I think we're all assuming there's 0% chance that Flacco starts every game. So this decision they make about who the backup is way more important than we're even thinking, because one of these guys is gonna have to start a game somewhere along. I just don't see it at his age and at this point that Flacco makes it through the entire season. So
no. I'm with you there. In fact, I don't think he's even supposed to by design.
Right.
The way that they're putting this together, the fact that they brought in, essentially a rookie and Pickett, right? Then you bring in, you draft 2. You're basically showing that Flacco isn't your guy probably by the end of the year.
Right.
And then the way that they restructured Watson, despite the fact that he's there, sure makes it look like at the end of this season, you're like, yeah, we'll just send you your $20 million check for the next 5 years. And
right. It'll be done.
No way. Because otherwise, like, why do you have all these quarterbacks? Like, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's just such an interesting situation, even without the Shador aspect of it.
Right.
Like, had it been, had they drafted Cam Ward also, or something like that instead of Shador, I would still be watching this, right? Other people may not, because Shador has a stigma that just, creates a lot of buzz. Nobody's talking about Cam Ward. You'd think he was a 5th rounder. Right?
Yes.
And
yes.
So, but had he been drafted into this situation, you'd be like, oh, that's weird. Let's see how this works out. Like,
right. This situation is wild. It's even better by what you talked about last week. The fact that everyone is placing blame on drafting Shador on someone else. Like,
oh yeah,
they got up from the table and auto draft was on and auto drafted Shador, and they came back with like, we got another quarterback, like one of those situations.
That is probably the only scenario that makes sense, though, right? Like if I never thought about it, right? But if you do, you look at it and you're just like, oh, you know what? I mean, that actually makes sense how you end, because I mean, I did that with a fantasy one where it drafted me like a fourth tight end. You know how many tight ends I needed? One. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. I got a couple of tight end flex positions, I guess. Sweet.
Right.
So yeah, like I could see that where they had their auto draft for like best available, and he was carrying a first round grade. And they're like, oh, ding, and you're like, oh no.
I thought I put him on the do not. Oh my god! That's it makes more sense than anything else that has happened so far.
For sure. Well, I wonder. There's speculation that the Browns probably started getting calls as far as potential draft or potential trades. I wonder if there's any validity to that. It seems early in the process for somebody to be like, hey, we'll give you whatever. Yeah. I mean, it has to be for Shedeur though, right? Because you haven't seen the other guys. So I don't see that yet. After the game, right? So supposedly after he played well in the game, that's where I'm curious if there's truth behind it, and if there is, like, what did that trade value look like? Right. I mean, are you trading more than a fifth for a guy you could have just taken anyway? That's hilarious. I don't know. I'd want to see him in the second game before I guess I really jump the gun. But if there's ever a player that everyone's jumping the gun on, I guarantee you every casual and serious fan knows how Shedeur did, probably more than they know how their own guys did this past weekend. Shedeur was like the story. It's crazy. And then we talked about all the other stuff that went on, so. Yep. Yeah, no, it's funny, but when you think about it for your own teams, you're like, okay, we have the guy that's going to captivate the media. So takes the pressure off the rest of the squads, right? Like your guys just going to go out there and learn, right? Which is what you want. I mean, here in Seattle, we have Milroe, right? And he got to play a little bit in the second half of the game. Drew Lock, played most of it. And he looked like you thought he would look. Right. Right? You're just like, okay. Like, he was able to move around. He made some decent plays. Didn't do anything great. Didn't do anything terrible. You're just like, okay. For a guy that is third on the depth chart and is going to be third on the depth chart, right? Just like, okay. Like, about what you expected. Yeah, that was a good outing. Right? You got to go out. You got to process an NFL-style defense. You didn't make any big mistakes. You got through your reads. You're just like, okay, like that's what I wanted to see. Right. I never like it when there's crazy hype, right? And, unfortunately for Shedeur, some of that is just his dad and the way that they've branded. And it's great because it got him paid, right? Like, I'm not mad at it. But with that comes all of that media attention. Yeah. I hate it when there's a lot of noise around my team because it means usually we're not going to do great that year. Right. Right. Especially when you're piping it up right now. Yeah. And I think most teams are like that. I'd like to just go through a quiet evaluation of what I have here and how we're setting this and not have that. Because the problem with outside noise is there are certain parts of your organization that have to listen to that. So now there's pressure, externally and internally, like, hey, we got to get Shedeur, closer to starting now. Whereas the ideal for your rookies is not to start or even be, the ideal for them would have been Flacco, Pickett, rookie. And now they've blown that whole thing up to where like Pickett's probably packing his bags already. So good job, guys. Yeah. So. Well, and I mean, like if you were looking at the ideal quarterback situation, it's actually here in Seattle, right? Mm-hmm. You have a veteran on a 3-year deal. You have a backup that can play with anybody if he gets called. Right. And then you have a rookie who gets to be a rookie and learn. Yeah. Right. Like, he's in no danger of starting a game. I mean, unless everybody gets hurt, and then your season's over anyway, so who cares?
Right.
You know, if your third stringer is your guy, it's a wrap.
Yes. Yes.
So, but I mean, it's also the ideal situation for Milroe, right? Because when you watched him in college, you're just like, okay, this guy's going to need, like, he's got a lot of tools.
Yeah.
He can be great, but he's not going to be year one.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to be. He gets to actually go through what quarterbacks used to go through.
Yes, the sitting.
Years and learn and, you know, bring your game along. So I'm actually kind of excited to see that because, you know, I wasn't high on Milroe by any means, but he's really landing in the ideal situation to learn and kind of have that best foot forward stepping into the league.
Yeah. No, I think even most Alabama fans, especially the realistic ones, were like, he needs to sit a year. And so we looked at the Seattle situation, and there was some like, oh, you know, he could. What if such doesn't do well? He's going to start. Like, no, he needs to sit. If the first guy isn't doing well, they don't need to rush out to rookie because it's not going to improve. He needs to sit. So no, that's an ideal situation, having two guys in front of you who, like you said, Locke can get out there and he might even win you a game or two, but he'll manage the offense regardless. You know, I think we even saw that at New York, so he'll be fine. And that's kind of where your veterans really, really step in. They're like, all right, it's a great situation I'm getting to, or a terrible situation. I know how to manage them and, you know, get us through without throwing 10 picks. So no, Milroe does not need to start in this next year. He absolutely needs the development. So no, it's a great situation for him. I don't know where, and it's like recently it feels like where this thing is, all right, we drafted this quarterback in the first round. We got to get him out there as soon as possible. Versus in the old days, they used to develop him and see, you know, Patrick Mahomes didn't start his first year. I don't get, you know, where we're looking at all this and thinking we got to get these guys out there soon. And then we're surprised when it doesn't work.
Well, like, they expect all these guys to come out and be Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Right. And you know what? Did he come in and ball out? Absolutely. Right. He won the starting job. Awesome. That's not generally how that works. And even when you do have a rookie that comes in and just kills it, you know, like CJ, like he had a great one. Jaden Daniels, obviously great. But then you look at, you know, Peyton Manning, like he wasn't good that first year.
Right.
I mean, he got to start as a rookie, but he sure looked like a rookie out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's I think there's an unrealistic expectation, but I think that shift happened because of how much starting quarterbacks are making now.
Definitely.
And so they look at it as, okay, we got a guy on a rookie deal. Forget the veterans. Let's build the rest of the team because as soon as this guy's going to get paid, he's going to destroy our cap and we're going to be out of it.
Yeah, that's what the Commanders are doing. All right, Jaden Daniels had a good year. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Let's go. Yep. Let's build and let's go. We can get to the Super Bowl with him. So
yeah, well, and they did the same for CJ Stroud.
Yeah,
they're just like, okay, let's make it happen.
Yep. And then they had injuries, and Stroud kind of hit the wall in the second year, and like, oh crap.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why people are act like that's something crazy, right? Like you have an entire year of tape. People get to analyze what it is you do well, don't do well. You end up with a couple of injuries, which, I mean, it's football.
Yeah. And
then, your season is way different. Yeah. I mean, think of how great Stafford has been through his career. But when his offensive line got hurt, what happened? Oh, they had a terrible year.
Yes.
And he got hurt.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like it's even necessarily the quarterback's fault. Like sometimes just guys go down and there's just nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. Yeah. The ultimate of the team sports, you know, we all look at it and go, oh man, he's got a great, you know, it's a great quarterback and a great, you know, wide receiver out there. Yeah. When the Bengals had no line, they had two of the best in the game and, you know, Burrow still gets hurt. Like these are the things that happens, you know. Yep. Don't pay your right guard and your right tackle and get two guys off the street and like go see what happens. You know, it's not, you have to keep the team around these guys. So I get it.
And speaking of the Bengals,
they
still have, you know, the best quarterback and, you know, two of the best receivers, but no defense, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're looking at a guy that last year easily would have won the MVP if they'd had a winning season, a Triple Crown winning receiver. And they missed the playoffs because they don't play defense, and they're going to do more of that this year. Somehow that's supposed to be successful. But, I mean, the way some of these teams construct their team doesn't make sense.
Not at all. Not at all. And the escalating salaries of the key positions.
Yeah.
Like, I understand you wanted to keep the offense together, but it might have been better served to go chase Burrow and defense versus, because, you know, you can get, no disrespect to Higgins, but you can probably get another serviceable, second guy next to Chase, and that guy will still look good because Chase is going to command all that attention. But you've seen the formula, what you just did, and all you did was double down on it, and then maybe alienate your best defensive player in the whole mix. And you think that's going to work somehow. So,
and the thing that's funny is you could have still, like, right now went and got Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he'd be a decent number 2.
Yeah. Which is all you need.
Have Chase on the other side. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, they could have went so many different ways where they could have built a balanced team, and instead that's a team that's going to have to put up 45 or 50 to win because their defense isn't going to stop anybody.
Yeah. Which is why they grabbed another tight end last time we talked.
Yeah, right? Because that makes sense. They're like, you know what we don't have is defense, so tight end. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. You know what? Some of these teams need to stop auto drafting and stop auto picking up free agents. Oh, I thought I said DE, not TE. My bad, guys. I'm sorry.
Turns out I was drinking.
Yeah, just clicking buttons.
I mean, to be fair, some of these guys probably should be listening to their kids. I mean, I remember watching the Giants, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we should get these guys," and then their GM's like, "Nope," and then the guys that the kids wanted are just balling out.
I mean, the kids probably pay more attention to that stuff anyway, so go for it.
I mean, they play with them on Madden constantly, right?
Right. You know, hey. One thing, death, taxes, and the Bengals and Browns making bad personnel decisions. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the same could be said for the Giants.
Yeah.
The Jets, really.
Yeah. How is it that certain organizations are just really bad at this? You know, like there's never an improvement. It's just like you've hit this spot and it's just how? I mean, you get this many shots year after year with high draft picks. How are you never right?
I mean, it has to be organizational, right? Because it can't even be the GM, because when you look at, say, the Browns that had every quarterback ever,
right?
That's multiple GMs. That's not, that's not one dude that's just really bad at his job.
Right.
Or the Steelers only finding ways to get crazy receivers.
Yeah.
Right. Like I mean, kudos to Tomlin for being able to keep those egos in check while they're in the building, because they all leave and then become a problem everywhere else. But I mean, like, it's consistent though, right?
Yeah. Like, no, you're absolutely right.
Defense, receiver, and then can't draft anything else.
Yes. Yes. No, you're absolutely right. The other team would call him back, "Hey, you gave us this crazy guy." I'm like, he was crazy when he was here. What are you talking about?
Why do you think he was good?
Yeah. So when you date somebody's ex, you're like, she's crazy. Yeah, but like I told you all the stories. You that's your fault. Yeah.
You remember those beers we had when we were talking? But yeah, okay. Yep. All right. So we do have some movement in the Jon Gruden.
You gotta say goodbye first.
Oh, it is that time. It is that time. If you are watching on if you're listening on ICU Radio 97.3, there is some smooth jazz headed your way. Otherwise, stay tuned. We're going to talk about Jon Gruden and winning his appeal from the NFL. So he's going to get discovery of the emails and how they were put out. That could be very interesting to see how that comes together, because that implicates not only the NFL, but Commissioner Goodell. We could see Jon Gruden back in the league sooner than you think, because this sounds like a settlement coming
Right.
Not only does he get discovery, but he's going to get his day in court.
Yeah.
There is no way the NFL wants that.
No.
There's no way that just Gruden's gets leaked out of, what was it, like 170,000 emails.
Right. No, it was definitely a vendetta.
Right. So, like, if you're Gruden in this scenario, you'd be like, look, let me get back in the league coaching, and you're going to cut me a check for the $100 million you guys cost me by making me leave that 10-year, $100 million deal.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, $100 million for the league is, like, laughable.
Right.
They're just like, oh, all right. Like,
no.
They're like, we printed that downstairs this morning, so that's fine.
Yes, we've actually the day we cut you, we thought this might happen, so we actually put this in something that's been gaining interest. So here you go.
Right. Yeah, this was over in our slush fund over here.
Yes.
No, it's like, that's kind of how I see this coming. Like, we're still never gonna know.
Yeah.
The league is going to be like, look, we're going to throw all the money at this and give you some sort of personnel job around one of the teams. Because, I mean, a team will take him.
Oh, definitely.
He's definitely, I mean, in the last couple of years, he's done, consulting jobs for around the league anyway.
Yeah.
So I think that he ends up coaching again for sure. But yeah, this sure feels like he gets awarded discovery and we're still never going to see it.
No, definitely not. There's 0% chance they let the blame come back to someone or let anything see. Yeah, no, it's 0% chance. And from the coaching aspect, of course, like for me, I can see it personally because a couple of our Alabama players have been, they were out there working out with them and doing stuff and like little TikTok dances. I actually had to go back and look at like, hey, what did he actually say in these things? Because I don't think the current players and stuff care. Like people like Gruden. He's kind of like a beloved figure around those spots. So I absolutely could see him back coaching. And I don't think anybody kind of cares how this whole thing came around. But for me personally, I saw two of our young receivers were out there working with him. I'm like, okay, nobody cares. Everybody likes Gruden. So I absolutely could see him back.
Well, and I mean, I can't say that I've done it in an email, but think about texts you've sent between people where you guys are probably making comments that are off color.
Right?
If those just randomly got put out there without a lot of context,
we
all look pretty bad.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's, and then somehow you're telling me that Gruden's were the worst one. Are we just forgetting the fact that the whole indictment part of this was for the owner of the Redskins,
right?
Who was the ultimate slime ball,
right?
You're telling me none of his emails were bad? Like, like he was pimping out his cheerleaders. Like, I don't know. What are you talking about?
Yes,
for the worst.
Yeah, somebody had a vendetta and grabbed a select, and it didn't seem like all that many. Like, here's a couple from Gruden. He said something bad. What's up, Zach? And it was definitely somebody. It was an attack and a very personal one. So, and then you have loved the anonymous nature. Oh, here you go. Here's something. Let's get this guy fired. Yeah, okay. Like you said, there's a lot more going on, and I'm pretty sure if you really started doing stuff, like half the owners would look terrible. I mean,
you had Kraft in a rub and tug kind of. What do we? I don't know. It's I got nothing.
Yeah.
Even at the time, I was just like, I feel like this is pretty on purpose here. And then at the same time, like, the Raiders weren't doing good. What was the benefit to trying to get Gruden out?
That's why I said it's personal. Somebody didn't like him personally because they weren't, and it was going to be a minute for like a little bit of a rebuild situation. So he made somebody mad personally. I almost feel like it was some kind of romantic something, or he slept with one of those guys. Why? That's the kind of things that you go to mind. Like somebody personally got mad at him and because first off, to go through all these emails and pick out a couple from Gruden, that probably was like, okay. Hey, there's one from Gruden where he said this. Yep, let's send this out. Let's leak this out to get him fired.
I mean, that's you had to have had some, like, a keyword search, right? You're like, okay, let's isolate these emails from Gruden and then keyword search, look for these 5 words. If they're in any of them, highlight it. Like, that's the only way I could even see you finding those.
Yes.
I mean, I end up with 50 emails and I'm already bored by like email one. I'm just like, yeah, you know what? Maybe if I wait long enough on the rest of these, it won't matter anymore.
Right. I'm like, Herb, have you gone through all the emails? I'm like, define all.
Like, I got them.
Yes. I read 2.5. And by 2.5, I meant skimmed.
Like, if you turn on read receipts, you can see I did not receive them. They did land in my inbox. Admittedly, I'm the worst at emails, but
no, I'm right there with you on that. That's not something that I mean. Send it to me in a text and give me like the bullet points.
Right?
I'm not trying
if
to.
You're sending me an email that matters.
Yeah.
Send me a text that hey, I just sent you an email. I need you to read it. Because otherwise, I'm like, meh.
Yeah. We're terrible, Bo. Let me just tell you that right now. We're terrible.
I mean, it's a time priority thing. I just don't spend a lot of time, unless I'm doing this. I am not in front of my computer a lot, and so emails are, I don't know. Out of sight, out of mind, I guess, because I don't really try to look at them on my phone.
No.
So, yeah. So, main takeaway for everybody watching: if you send me an email, you better send me a text.
I'll send you an email right now.
That's cool. It'll sit there.
You know what's sad? I don't actually think I know your email address. I
mean, it's pretty easy. It's footballtalkbo at Gmail.
Yeah.
It's about as straightforward as it gets.
And
now I get a bunch of emails that I'm also going to ignore. So
yes. Yep.
My main one, or my personal one, is I always get the little alert. Your space is 95% full, and it's like, oh yeah, I should probably clear some of those out. Let you know how often I actually open this thing, right?
Yes, that's mine. So I get it.
I get the alert. It's the your bill is ready. It's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll open that one.
But that's it. This better not be somebody trying to talk to me. No, mine's the same. That's because even deleting emails is so tedious, man. I'll go through a page or two and go, all right, I want to go do something else. I'm good.
Well, especially when you think of so many things that you've signed up for inadvertently, right? Like you go on and you're just like, yeah, cookies, whatever. I'm trying to see something. And it tags your email and now you're subscribed and you're like, what is all this junk? I don't even remember that place that I went to get this thing.
At all.
Yeah.
Now mine pops up and goes, hey, you haven't responded to this ever. Do you want to go ahead and unsubscribe? Yes, thank you. And I'll wait for the next alert that tells me that.
Can you retroactively delete all the ones that I've ignored?
Yes. Oh, that'd be a great feature.
Right? Just put in an address and be like, delete everything from this address. Man, good stuff. One thing kind of crazy is the UFC. They get a TV deal, 7 years, $7.7 billion for Paramount Plus. And there will be a couple of things that will be on CBS, but most of it will be on their streaming service. I'm not going to lie. I mean, for this particular thing, it doesn't matter, right? Because a lot of their stuff was pay-per-view. So you were going to be paying for it regardless.
Right.
But man, I'm tired of streaming service stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting so out of hand. Everybody has a streaming service. Now they're talking about Fox and ESPN bundling their streaming service to some degree, but not completely. So, I mean, it just sounds like they're forcing you into all these different streaming services. I'm just not into it. Like, if I could have it's why cable works, because it's one bill.
Yeah.
If I have $15 bills and I'm looking at it, I'm like, you know what? There's something I like on this channel, but I like it like once a month. I'm not paying for that.
No.
I'm just
figure out a way around it.
I'll steal my buddy's account or I'll go somewhere or whatever. I mean, they're making it so hard to consume the products they're selling at this point that I don't know what the end game there is, because when you watch the ratings for things that are on these streaming services, they're way less than national TV.
Yeah.
You know? And some of that is because of people like me, where you're just like, yeah, you know what? I'm not spending $15 a month for something I'm going to watch on that channel twice a year.
Yeah. And that's probably always been the problem. You're not gathering the casual fans like you think you would. And this is what I don't like about the deal. When I first saw it pop up, it was like, oh, you know, UFC signs a deal with CBS. I'm like, oh, cool. Because I'm the kind of guy that I'm not buying something else to watch the UFC. But if it's on CBS late at night, you know, and all football's off, and I'm sure, yeah, I'll flip over and watch your little, you know, I guess PLE now, premium live, I guess, if it's not going to be a pay-per-view, whatever. You know, you might grab me randomly. But I'm not getting Paramount Plus just to watch UFC. So I already wasn't paying for your pay-per-views. So I'm definitely not doing that. So I don't understand that. And it's December. Oh, it's a CBS deal. Actually, it's going to be on Paramount Plus. And then they said with certain events on CBS. Yeah, okay. So
well, and realistically, what that means, it's going to be the prelims will be on CBS, and then your main cards will swap over to Paramount Plus.
Yeah, see, I'm good.
I mean, because that's what they do already, right? They'll have the pay-per-view end of it, but all the prelims will be on Fox or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, until now anyway. But I imagine that's probably going to be some events will be on CBS. It's like, yeah, the event that you're talking about is the prelims, and then you're still going to have the streaming service
for the rest of it. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's great for the UFC, and the guaranteed money for them is great, but you're definitely not growing yourselves with anyone else. And it's like you said, we're just going to start chopping off the smaller streaming services bit by bit. Or like you said, you're going to have that one friend who's paying for it, and all of us are chipping in, and you've got 10 people on one account, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
until they start cutting that off more.
That essentially is how that becomes, right? I'm going to get this one and you get that one and that one. And, you know, everybody just gets one, and then you kind of share logins. I know that, you know, things like Netflix have been cracking down on that. They're like, oh, you can log in from, you know, a couple of locations.
Yes. They actually offer a plan now where, hey, do you want to buy somebody else a profile on your account? I'm like, are you guys kidding me? Or like my YouTube TV, if I go to my parents' house and I'm trying to watch it, they're like, hey, are you traveling? Like, what's going on? What are you doing? Like, you're not at the house. I'm like, come on, guys. So some of them are cracking down, but this is why like Fire Sticks are coming back into play. You know, you keep jacking up the price for all this stuff, and people are just going to find ways around everything, and that is why
you're almost heading back to the era of Pirate Bay.
Yes.
Right. And it's too early to have any kids watching this show, but if you happen to be younger watching this show somehow, probably because you didn't go to sleep yet.
Yes.
But Pirate Bay is where we used to go, like, get movies. Right. Yeah. Like, it was the Napster for movies, really. And sometimes they were great, and sometimes you had somebody like walk in front of the screen.
Yes. Yes. I remember those.
I mean, we're kind of headed back that direction where people are like, okay, we're gonna find a way around this because you're making it too hard to consume things we want to watch. And none of these streaming services have enough on them, right? So like Paramount Plus, for example. A lot of people probably, like, Paramount has Yellowstone, right? So a lot of people probably watched that, and then the couple of random sports things that was on it. That's not enough for me to want to buy it.
No.
Peacock is another big one. NFL is, you know, really pushing Peacock for NBC.
And wrestling, I think, is right.
Yeah, I think wrestling's on it. Yep.
But they're about to lose it, so.
Well, and I don't watch it anyway, so like, I can't even speak to that. But on the NFL side, you're like, okay, there's going to be 4 games on it.
Yeah.
Do I need a monthly bill for that? Now, it was included in my, you know, Comcast deal for 2 years or whatever. But as soon as that's up, I'm going to drop it. Because you know what I watch on Peacock otherwise? Nothing. Now, I know there's shows. I just always forget about it.
Yes. Yes.
So,
and we're probably in the realm of the people that don't watch that many shows, or I'll just find other stuff to watch. I'm not grabbing Peacock or Paramount to catch a show or two. I'll figure out another way to get it from something else, Like half the time what we do is if there's a show that's on one of those, we'll wait till the show's concluded, go get the free trial, watch it, and then just be done. Like I'm not subscribing to any of these things. I mean, what was it, the Chiefs Dolphins playoff game that was on? Was that Paramount or Peacock? One of the two? Peacock, I guess.
That was Peacock, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I was just like, okay, Yeah, I think my brother, because he's a Dolphins fan, got the free trial to watch it. I feel like, but
like for me, I had it because it was part of when I signed up for my new setup. Otherwise, I'd have went to Wild Wings or something.
Yeah,
I'd be like, I don't care that much. I'll go get some beer and wings, which should ultimately be less than paying for a year of Peacock.
Yes. Yes. And a much better time. So I'm good, exactly. No, I agree. And they're trying to do it way too much, How long before it's like, hey, this next game is going to be on Stars or, like HBO Max. I feel like these things are coming.
Yeah. I mean, they already kind of do it. I mean, because you have things like Vice TV and stuff like that, that's a subscription-based thing. And it's just like, I mean, I'm not interested in paying $500 a month in TV stuff.
No.
It just doesn't make sense.
No.
There's way too many other ways to consume it. And if you're spending crazy amounts of money, I mean, you could literally go to the bar for every game and still not spend what it would cost you to go get all of the different streaming services you need to watch every game of the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, $1,500 to watch every game live, right? I mean, you could do that. You could just hang out at Wild Wings every Sunday. Like,
yeah. Which is, I mean, you're not wrong on any of it. That's like, we're laughing, but it's also like absolutely true. And that's what more places do. And, the restaurants will take it. Okay, guess what? People are going to hang out and eat and drink all day and still pay less than they would. Yeah, absolutely. Or like you said, people are going to find that one person that has it. And there's going to be a lot of gatherings at those people's houses, So there's going to be ways around, and they're going to find this model doesn't work because you see they're already thinking about what's the next thing we can add. How's the next thing we could squeeze money? But guess what, guys? The economy is also not the greatest. So trying to squeeze all our money out of us for sports is going to be the downfall. So, but that's the owners and everybody. Yep.
At the same time, though, I'm not mad that it's kind of putting a squeeze on Comcast.
Right. At all.
Because, I mean, cable is starting to go away at this point because everything's on streaming, right? So a lot of channels' best content is leaving your normal cable subscriptions. As bad as customer service is for these cable companies, I don't feel bad for them either, though.
No.
Right? Because it's just like, you know how you guys were saying that my call is important and you're leaving me on 45 minutes because it's not important enough to hire some people.
Right. Which, why is our price so high if you have no one working? I've never understood either. So where's all my money going? If the CEO is buying another boat, like, I feel like that's not something I want to keep contributing to. So no.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for them at all. The reason why I don't feel bad for them either is because your price keeps going up. When I call to say I'm canceling, magically the price goes down, and that's the only time. Like, threats were the only thing that worked with your cable company. I don't understand. So, hey, you've been a loyal customer for 20 years. We're raising your price again. All right, I quit. Oh, okay, we'll bring it down. Like, what about the loyal 20 year? Okay. My mom actually switched their company after 20 years because the price went up, and she asked the lady about it, and the lady told her, yeah, just go online and try and find some deals, and then we can apply them for you. And that was when my mom quit. She said, oh, okay, let's go somewhere else.
Yeah, and I'm out. No, I mean, and it's funny because, like, obviously I've had issues with my service, really since moving back. And every time you call, you're on hold for an hour or whatever. Where I've gotten the best response is when I barbecue them on Twitter because I have a good following on Twitter. Right?
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden their team is like, oh, let us fix this. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. So like if I'm just a normal customer calling, you guys do not care.
No.
But if I'm just dragging you on social media, they're like, oh, okay, let's actually try and pretend like we're interested in fixing this.
Bro, I got one for you. When I used to work for Toys R Us, may they rest in peace, they had a person whose only job was to go through Facebook, and every time somebody made a bad comment, that person had to send that comment to the owner of the store to be addressed immediately. And I was like, so all the good that you did was nothing, but if you said something on Facebook, the owner had the store manager, I'm not owner, store manager had to go and deal with it directly every single time.
That's awesome, though. And it's funny because I also randomly worked at Toys R Us. I was the one that, I was there through the middle of the night. And so I'd be like assembling the bikes and.
Right.
Yeah.
That is wild.
No, but that is fantastic that they actually took those things seriously. Whereas I almost think that, especially cable companies, because they essentially have a monopoly anyway.
Right.
They're just like, they're mad.
Yes. Unfortunately, that is true.
You know what's going to make them really mad? Let's slow their service down.
Yes. Yes. And now they're finally feeling the squeeze. Oh, crap. Does that mean we have to improve stuff? What does that even mean? I don't think they have a path to it or even know what they're doing.
Nah, I don't think they're going to do that. I think it'll just change names again, right? I mean, that's all they do anyway. It used to be Viacom Cable, and then it was Comcast, and then it was Xfinity. It's the same company. It didn't even change owners. They're just like, oh, we've destroyed the brand name enough. Let's just pretend like we're a new company now.
Yeah. Yep.
So I will never have Xfinity as a sponsor of this show, most likely, because I barbecue them pretty regular. Man.
If you ever do have it, we'll immediately know because you start off every show talking great. Oh, no, you know what? I've always loved my service. I'm like, Bo, how much did they?
Right? Blink 3 times if you are in a dangerous situation. Like that's what it would actually be. It wouldn't be them giving me money. They'd be like sitting here like, we're going to break your legs.
Oh, man. Dude, we're in a fantasy college football league, and the person who comes in last this is what you love about this is America in a nutshell. There is no prize for first, but there's a punishment for last. So the person who comes in last has to talk good about their rival on Twitter for a week. If I do that, I said people are going to think my account's been hacked or that I'm in trouble. Half the day into the first day, they're gonna be like, "Hey, Herb, are you good? Like 2 good posts about Auburn. What is going on?" So I've already announced that my hated rival is the Wyoming Cowboys. So that's what I'm going with.
I mean, you're not wrong though. Like, that is, yeah. Everyone would assume. I would assume. You'd be like, he's not all right.
I'm getting a text. Herb, what's up, man? No, just saw your Twitter. Just checking on you, man. Are you good?
Yep. Yeah. No, it's that would be tough. That'd be tough. That'd be, I guess on the NFL side, I suppose I could do it. Like for me, I guess the Niners would probably be the one where I'm just like, mostly because the fan base, kind of like the Cowboys for me, the fan base I find annoying a lot.
Right.
But like if I had to say good things about the Niners, it's always their front office.
Right.
Because they're the one team that like really doesn't double down on bad decisions. And I credit John Lynch with that mostly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was out here like, oh, the team is great. And people be like, who is this guy? Like,
you'd get a text from me like, hey, lose a bet? I guess because we've had this segment. Yeah, no, I just saw 2 49ers posts in a row. Like, what's up, man? For mine, I'll just blame Raj. People are like, Herb, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, that was Raj. I didn't post that.
well, yeah, since you guys share that, that's cheating.
Yes, pretty much. I'd rather do that than post good.
You guys got to treat that like you're running the Browns. Like,
yes,
I didn't draft him. He drafted him.
That's perfect. Nope, had nothing to do with that. Yeah, it is sad though. On our Twitter, if there's a crazy post, everyone assumes it's me already. Like, dang, Herb. I'm like, how do you even know that was me? Like,
because they know it was you. See, you can't say that and then pretend like it wasn't you, though.
Oh, ridiculous post. Definitely Herb. I'm like, thanks, guys. So,
but where's the lie?
This is where the bow. You're not wrong. Oh my goodness. So of course Raj pops in here late. So you know why he's posting this? I was the commissioner of our league last year and I won. And he's never gonna let me live that one down.
I mean, it's tough to cheat at stuff like that. Everybody sees what's going on.
I know, but happened to win the league. When he won the league like 4 years ago, he was okay with it, I guess. But can't have your brother win.
I mean, that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, because things like fantasy and pick'em are public, right? Like all the moves are public, like all the picks are public. I don't know how you would cheat.
Yeah,
people notice.
Raj.
I mean, you can, obviously, but people would notice. They'd be like, right. Oh, that's funny. Like, how did you get that player? He was on my roster.
Raj basically saying everyone fell asleep at the same time, and I just took advantage.
Well, that being said, since we're talking about Pick'em, if you want to join our Pick'em this year, this is the QR code to sign up. It's $10 to enter. And of course, still trying to figure it out. But yeah, Dave, if you want to play Pick'em with us this year, the first 2 years I won. Last year I finished third. Didn't like that, so I'm going to try and win again.
So I shouldn't pay my money? Is that what we're saying?
I mean, I'm going to try and win. I'm not going to cheat like you do, apparently. But
a minute. Man, if you can cheat in a pick'em, that's amazing.
Right? Again, because everybody can see what you're doing. Like, it's funny because going into year 4 here, I feel like one of these years, like I'm just going to have that year where everything's wrong. Like every pick is just the worst somehow. But the other thing that's kind of cool about it is we're going to be doing Pick'em a little differently this year. Is we're going to do it from Crucible Bar. So instead of being a midday show that it used to be, it's going to be the hour preceding the kickoff of Thursday Night Football. Since the picks lock at kickoff, we're going to do the Pick'em show and then go straight into the game. And so Crucible Brewing here in Everett has agreed to let me broadcast from there, and then we're going to watch all the games from there instead of me traveling to different sports bars each time. So it's going to be a little bit less travel on my end, but a lot of fun. So if you happen to be here, every Thursday night will be Crucible Brewing in Everett.
Nice.
Yeah, should be fun. That being said, also gets us to the top of the hour. If you are watching on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. Anywhere else you're watching, stay tuned for whatever's next on that channel. Otherwise, we will see you all next week. Take it easy, everybody.